for the backdrop?
Hi, my name is Ken Kelly. I'm with the CCISCO, and I'm happy to announce that Bank of America has agreed to a face-to-face meeting at the beginning of the year, the week of January 11th.
I'm very happy to be here today, and I stand not by myself, but I stand with members of my pastoral staff, my finance council, as well as my brother priests, deacons, members of my parish and of the surrounding community, and clergy from other denominations. And I have a prepared statement to read to you. As families observe this holiday season, many will share worry as well as joy. Millions of households are on the brink of losing their homes to foreclosure. This is one of the most heartbreaking chapters in the worst financial crisis of a generation. Every 7.5 seconds, another family in America loses their home. Despite massive intervention by the federal government, banks continue to foreclose on families without negotiating with them in good faith. We have all seen how banks and their powerful lobbies have been reaching deep into their pockets to stifle attempts at reform. It has been more than a year since the large banks imploded our economy, which has taken a devastating toll on our country. The banks themselves would have folded, devoured by their own greed, were it not for the taxpayer bailout. The Bank of America received over $199 billion in public investment. Now major banks and security firms are on track to pay their highest level employees up to $140 billion in compensation this year. That's more than the combined budgets of the Departments of Commerce, Education, Energy, Housing and Urban Development, the National Science Foundation, and the Environmental Protection Agency. Here are some facts about the Bank of America's bonus and compensation pool. With a $32.2 billion, the Bank of America could prevent or postpone 92% of all foreclosures projected to take place in the entire country, that's in the entire United States of America, in 2009 to 2012 by providing mortgage payment assistance to struggling families. That's 8.3 million families. Unfortunately, the Bank of America has chosen the path of greed. According to a recent report, the Bank of America has only made 98 permanent loan modifications in the entire United States of America. We can no longer stand by idly while banks ignore the massive human suffering that they have inflicted and the havoc they have wrought across America. We can no longer stand by and watch this devastation. We must act now with boldness and with moral audacity. We can never forget that we have an obligation to act with an informed conscience, and we must never forget that human dignity belongs to everyone without exception. Now we are going to organize our own money. We're going to no longer allow the Bank of America to use our money to exploit and to abuse our families. We say enough is enough. The largest banks in the United States, which have a complex system for penalizing people for submitting their mortgages just a few minutes late, should also be able to put together a functioning plan to help people stay in their homes and to keep paying their mortgages. It is time to hold the banks accountable and to restore integrity and morality to our financial system. With only a pitiful 98 permanent loan modifications established across the United States of America, the Bank of America has fallen short of fulfilling their bailout promises. For this reason, my parish, St. Ignatius of Antioch Catholic Church, has unanimously elected to close our accounts with the Bank of America in order to protest their horrific track record of failing to keep families in their homes and for the widespread human suffering that their actions have caused. We are willing to postpone the closure of our general account pending the results of our negotiations with Barbara Desoer, who is the president of lending for the Bank of America. However, this is only a beginning. We are inviting congregations and communities of conscience across America to join us in closing their accounts with the Bank of America and all other institutions that put their own greed above human needs. We will continue until we chart a new path, which is a light of justice and truth. We have decided, and we will not relent. We know that we face a very difficult path, but we believe in a God who can make a way out of no way. We know that if we cry out and move towards justice, that the God in whom we believe and serve will light our way and heal our wounds. Bank of America, we are crying out for justice, and we pray that you will hear our cries. We pray that you will heed this call and that you will change your ways. We pray that you will help build the wealth of our communities instead of stripping it from our hands and from our families. We are calling on Barbara Desoer, the President of Home Loans for the Bank of America, to stop foreclosing on our families. We are calling on you to hear the call of conscience and to suspend all foreclosures for the next 90 days. We are calling on you to meet with our leaders and to negotiate in good faith to put an end to this crisis. Thank you.
Every time I think about Bank America, I think only changing the name to Bad for America. Amen. When we think about all the money, every Monday morning, churches all over America put that money into Bank America. This morning, my secretary was getting ready to walk next door to deposit our money from yesterday into Bank America. I said, stop. Do you know that many on Monday morning across America, every church, mostly in the United States, that bank with Bank America, we make billions of deposits every Monday morning, from the Protestant church to the Catholic church to the Muslim churches all over this country. We're making deposits into these banks who refuse to help us. We need to find a way. Look at Bank America, Bad for America. Look at Wells Fargo. We're going to get some coaches together and ride on Wells Fargo. If we have to chase down to make some changes, we have to make these changes. Why? Because every day, people within our churches make deposits in Bank America. Can you imagine, Bank America, what would happen if we told our churches to stop patronizing, stop giving, stop depositing into Bank America? What change can we make? Millions of people, if we would just stop and say, Bank America, don't be bad for America. Thank you.
My name is Muhammad Chaudhry and I represent Islamic Center of East Bay. I look at this whole, I call it tragedy, but it's a human, man-made tragedy in the sense that it's not like this weather that we can't do anything about it. It's not like a tornado that we can't stand against it. It's man-created problem. And Bank of America, in fact, should feel ashamed in this sense that banks initially were conceived in the spirit of compassion and charity. How come they adopted the course of total ruthless greed? While people are suffering, people are being driven out of their homes, these people, their CEOs and others sitting in their cozy office chairs, they are just watching the whole thing happen. And the most tragic thing is that it carries the name of America. America stands for the spirit of compassion, of reaching out. So what is happening to Bank of America? That it can't take care of the problem which initially it itself is responsible in many ways. So with these words, I say that banks were conceived in the spirit of charity, not in the spirit of greed. So Bank of America should come forward and take care of its own people. Thank you.